What if the reason your top floor room feels unbearable every summer isn't the heat outside, but the air conditioner inside? That sounds surprising, but countless homeowners spend money on cooling systems that never truly solve the problem. Energy bills climb. We've researched and ranked the top 5 best AC for top floor rooms to help you find the right balance of cooling performance, comfort, and everyday practicality. And if one of these models feels like the perfect fit, you'll find all the links waiting for you in the description below. Let's get into it. Now let's move at number 5. We have the DREO 20 decibels. Now here's something people rarely think about when shopping for an air conditioner. Cooling power isn't the only thing that affects comfort. Noise does too. In fact, many homeowners finally solve their temperature problem only to discover a completely different frustration. The room becomes cooler, but suddenly there's a constant hum, buzz, or mechanical sound filling the space. And once you notice it, it's hard to ignore. Especially at night, especially on the top floor, where you're already trying to escape a long day of trapped heat. That's where the DREO takes a refreshingly different approach. Rather than trying to dominate the room with sheer presence, it focuses on creating a calmer environment, a quieter environment, an environment that feels more relaxing from the moment you walk in. Imagine climbing the stairs after a scorching summer day. The roof has absorbed hours of sunlight. The walls still feel warm. The air feels heavy. You turn on the AC expecting relief. But instead of adding another layer of distraction, this model quietly gets to work in the background. But if your goal is creating a room that feels calmer, quieter, and more relaxing throughout the day and night, the DREO presents a compelling case. What makes it memorable isn't a flashy specification sheet. It's that moment when you're lying in bed, the room feels cooler, the noise has disappeared into the background, and for the first time all day, everything simply feels peaceful. Some air conditioners fight the heat. This one fights the stress that comes with it. Coming up next at number 4 is the GAOMON 250 square feet. And this one addresses a mistake that many buyers don't even realize they're making. Bigger isn't always better, especially when it comes to cooling a smaller top floor room. It's easy to assume that choosing the largest possible coverage area automatically guarantees better comfort. But that's not always how real life works. Many people end up purchasing more cooling capacity than they actually need. The result? More money spent, less efficiency. And cooling performance that doesn't necessarily match the room itself. That's where the GAOMON takes a different path. Instead of chasing oversized coverage numbers, it focuses on serving compact spaces effectively. And for many homeowners, that's exactly the smarter approach. Think about the rooms where people spend most of their time. Bedrooms, small offices, study rooms, personal workspaces. These aren't giant open concept areas. They're focused environments where comfort matters most. Because not every buyer needs maximum coverage. Many simply need the right coverage. And for smaller top floor spaces, that distinction matters. The real appeal of this model isn't how much space it can cool, it's how effectively it serves the space it was built for. Sometimes the smartest purchase isn't the biggest one, that it's the one that fits your life perfectly. Let's keep the momentum going. At number 3, we have the EnerGlow 350 square feet. Some rooms don't just get hot. They seem to trap summer itself. You close the curtains, turn on a fan, open a window. Yet somehow the heat still lingers, especially on the top floor where warm air naturally rises and refuses to leave. It's a frustrating cycle that many homeowners know all too well. That's exactly why EnerGlow 350 square feet earns its place in our countdown of the top 5 best AC for top floor rooms. What makes this model stand out isn't extreme capacity or oversized coverage. It's balanced, designed for spaces up to 350 square feet, EnerGlow targets one of the most common room sizes homeowners struggle to cool efficiently. The moment it begins circulating air, the room starts feeling less suffocating and more livable. Not dramatically, not instantly, just steadily and comfortably. And sometimes that's exactly what matters. EnerGlow isn't trying to dominate oversized spaces. Instead, it focuses on doing one job exceptionally well, creating a comfortable environment for medium-sized rooms where people actually spend their time. And there's something refreshing about that approach. No unnecessary overkill. No feeling like you're paying for cooling power you'll never use. Just practical performance designed around real-world living. What truly separates EnerGlow isn't a specification sheet. It's the moment you realize your upstairs room no longer feels like the place you avoid during the hottest part of the day. It quietly becomes the room you want to spend time in again. And that's a change you notice every single day. Breaking into the top two, the HAUSHOF 450 square feet takes the number 2 position. Here's something most people discover the hard way. An air conditioner can cool a room perfectly in the morning and still struggle by late afternoon. Why? Because top floor rooms fight a completely different battle. As the sun pounds the roof hour after hour, heat begins soaking into the structure itself. Walls warm up. Ceilings radiate heat downward. Even after the outdoor temperature starts dropping, the room can continue feeling uncomfortable. That's where HAUSHOF 450 square feet enters the conversation. And it does so with a clear advantage. Coverage designed for rooms up to 450 square feet. This model provides a larger cooling footprint than many alternatives aimed at similar buyers. That additional reach becomes especially noticeable when dealing with stubborn upstairs heat that tends to linger long after sunset. The experience feels different. Instead of constantly chasing temperature changes, the room maintains a more stable atmosphere throughout the day. Imagine walking upstairs during the hottest week of summer. With the right cooling coverage, that frustration slowly disappears. And in its place comes something much more valuable. A room that finally feels ready for whatever the day brings, but there's still one model left. And our number 1 pick takes the challenge of top floor heat even further. And finally, taking the number 1 spot on our list, we have the HUMHOLD 500 square feet. The hottest room in the house usually isn't the one with the most sunlight. It's the one that has been collecting heat all day long. Hour after hour. Morning sunshine warms the roof. Afternoon temperatures intensify the pressure. By evening, many top floor rooms feel like they're holding on to every degree of heat they absorb throughout the day. That's the reality countless homeowners face. And it's exactly why HUMHOLD 500 square feet takes the top position in our countdown of the top 5 best AC for top floor rooms. This isn't about chasing the biggest numbers for the sake of it. It's about having enough cooling reach to handle one of the toughest environments in the home. The moment you step into a top floor room during peak summer, you immediately understand the challenge. The air feels heavier. The warmth feels more stubborn. Even rooms that seem manageable downstairs can become surprisingly uncomfortable upstairs. Compared to others, HUMHOLD provides the broadest cooling reach in this lineup. That wider range makes it suitable for a larger variety of top floor spaces while offering flexibility if room layouts change in the future. Of course, honesty matters. If you're cooling a very compact room, the additional capacity may be more than you truly require. Some buyers with smaller spaces might find a lower capacity option perfectly adequate. But when top floor heat becomes a constant battle, having extra cooling potential often feels less like excess and more like insurance. What ultimately makes HUMHOLD stand out isn't a specification. It's an experience. The feeling of walking into your favorite room and actually wanting to stay there. The feeling of escaping the heat instead of fighting it. The feeling that summer no longer controls how comfortable your home can be. And that's why HUMHOLD earns our #1 spot. After comparing every model in today's lineup, HUMHOLD 500 square feet stands out as the strongest overall winner. Here's why. Each product on this list brings something valuable to the table. DREO impressed with its remarkably quiet 20 decibel operation. GAOMON focused on efficient cooling for compact rooms. EnerGlow delivered an excellent middle ground for everyday comfort. HAUSHOF expanded coverage for larger upstairs spaces. But HUMHOLD combines the advantage that matters most for top floor environments. Reach. With coverage designed for up to 500 square feet, it offers the greatest flexibility across different room sizes while providing additional cooling capacity for the intense heat buildup that upper floors often experience. Instead of feeling limited as temperatures rise, it offers a wider comfort zone that many homeowners will appreciate year after year. For buyers looking for the most balanced long-term choice, HUMHOLD emerges as the strongest overall investment in this comparison. And that brings us to the end of our top 5 best AC for top floor rooms countdown. If one of these models feels like the perfect match for your home, you'll find all the links waiting for you in the description below so you can check current pricing and availability. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest reviews and rankings. Until next time, stay cool, stay comfortable, and remember this: the right air conditioner doesn't just change the temperature of a room, it changes the way that room feels every single day.